Let's see if there's any eggs for today. Ooh! 2 googies. I better get those. Oh, yeah, I reckon. Look how clean they are too.
There's water rising in the basement, and I'm too afraid now to go and face it. I tell myself that it'll work out on its own. I got a little bit of money. It should be a while now until I'm hungry. A couple of years I ought to be fine on my own.
Oh, man, I tell you what, these are heavy. And the second one down underneath on all these farms, just full of worm castings, which is really cool. I think the chickens though, they find this patch, they're gonna be into it. Oh, doesn't matter, I've got so many here. They'll just turn those extra compost worms into eggs. But I gotta keep moving these compost worms out of here because I'm putting the big composting systems in here. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm down crouched really low because I put the tripod down too low, silly me.
There's no need to lie to no one anymore. There's a mountain in the distance. There's a storm cloud, but it shouldn't miss us. I'll keep my head down so I can keep upright for you. Always the first to look on the bright side and get blinded by the sun. Always saying everything will be fine and it'll work out on its own. But what if I've been wrong? I've learned enough from watching family. I know just what I've got in me, so there's no need to worry about that stuff with us. Always the first to look on the bright side and get blinded by the sun. Always saying everything will be fine and it'll work out on its own. Always the first to look on the bright side and get blinded by the sun. Always saying everything will be fine and it'll work out on its own. Now I'm scared that I've been
So I'm putting about a wheelbarrow full in the top of this bin. It's going to be the area where they're going to lay most of their cocoons. They're going to eat into it, and they're going to produce lots of different types of bacteria, fungal dominated, and also chitin. Really great stuff, this leaf mulch. Worms are going to love it. Go mental on it. Then what I'll do is I'll just feed it slowly with coffee over time, and they'll feed on that, and it will produce one of the best composts around. This stuff, black gold, maybe better than black gold, because you can't even get black gold, right? It's only gold. Gee, I say some stupid things sometimes, but it's good fun.
Winterland, tell me all your secrets. Fill me in on your wildest moments. Colored trees, your yellow leaves move me. Dancing roofs, your painted red shakes the room. When I get there, I'll let my feet roam. When I get there, I'll break.
Oh, she's chilly out there, and this is my third take on this section of the video, because I'm using these worm bins. Well, they're actually compost bins, and I want to explain to you in steps sort of why I'm using them and why I've added them to the micro farm here. Well, firstly, I need to scale up, and I need to scale up in a way that actually doesn't look messy around here, because the fact is, I live on sort of like country suburbia, and we've got houses around us, and they don't want to see this big messy area sort of thing, and I rent here, and I don't want to be moved on. So, you know, I want to keep everyone happy, and at the same time, I get locals come around and they buy compost from me because they see what I'm doing outside. So, and you know, it's nice to show them the systems that are going through, and if I keep it all nice and tidy, like it is, there's going to be no problems, I believe. So, the second thing is I need to keep the chickens out of the compost instead of spreading it all over the place and have to re-dig it up. And that can be a bit of a problem. I only want them into designated areas, and I've moved the fencing, so that's another reason. The third one would be I want to use it to breed compost worms in there as well, a bit like a hungry bin where they feed in the top part and the castings move down below. And that way I can actually grab those castings from them and put it into the blends at the end. And so the fifth reason is that I can actually breed worms up, and I can keep an eye on stocks, numbers, and I can feed the top like you would say a large hungry bin, worm bin, something like that. Now these are something that I haven't really tried before, but they seem to be working so far. What I'm finding is that because it's cold in winter, which comes in at number 6, if I'm using compost that's only 2/3 broken down, it still stays warm when I'm feeding it with the nitrogen from the coffee, and that keeps the worms warmer, and they'll sort of sit in the area of the zone where they want to be, and hopefully lay more cocoons even through the winter time. I find that in autumn and spring I get the most cocoons and the best breeding of my worms, and they slow up a bit in the winter because it gets cold, and they go into a thing called diapause, I believe, where they sort of shut down and stop feeding so much. So I'm hoping to keep them warmer and to keep them breeding and to build up my stocks, because I lost a lot of stocks in the drought here, and also, you know, I had a lot of problems with sort of my cocoons going out in the compost and the worms going out when I was selling them. So I was losing, you know, I lost something like probably 1 million worms last year in cocoon numbers. So 10,000 cocoons were going out in a bag. And like, if you were selling cocoons, that's just out of control, right? But I was just moving compost and it was bringing money in. So that, you know, like that worked. But, you know, I'm working on better systems, so this is a part of more of a system. Now, probably the bad parts about it is it needs to have more oxygen, so I will need to lift them off. I need to get the fork in, stir it around, maybe pull the whole thing off, because it lifts off and then moves, and then put it back in. So it's still a bit of a trial period with these. Excuse me, the cold air is making my throat a bit raspy. So yeah, it's still a bit of a trial area for me with these, and I'll keep you updated on how they're going. And yeah, I think we need to keep creating great soils for our gardens. And in future videos, I'm going to be talking more about that. I've got some rants coming up
that I really want to bring out, because I've been holding back on some things that I feel like I need to say that some people mightn't want to hear, but it will help them in the long run, so far I believe. Anyway, that will be coming up in some future videos. Before I lose my voice, I'm going to go get a drink of water and I'm going to put on some music. Ready please, Mr. Music? As always, Bushranger thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you got any questions. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. Music! Man, sometimes I have a problem with this DJ at the back here, right? Which is me. I'm double handling as I do stuff. Music. Have a great day. Happy gardening. And we'll see you in the next video real soon. Remember, I've got some rants coming up. You might like it, you might not. Bye for now.